The biggest story we're tracking at this hour: on Saturday, Hamas carried out a surprise large-scale attack on Israeli towns. Palestinian Islamist group Hamas took Israel by surprise, and this is the biggest attack in decades. A sudden assault by gunmen who crossed into the Israeli villages, killed dozens of people, and brought hostages back into the Gaza Strip. Our next report gives you more details.
Palestinian Islamist group Hamas rampaged through Israeli towns on Saturday, killing and capturing scores of civilians and soldiers in their biggest surprise attack in decades. The group distributed these videos Saturday from inside an Israeli military camp near the border of Gaza. Reuters couldn't immediately verify the videos, which display what is said to be bodies of Israeli soldiers brought into Gaza by fighters. Israel then responded with massive airstrikes deep inside the coastal enclave that led to the collapse of buildings and vowed unprecedented retaliation. During a security cabinet meeting, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said, "Since this morning, the state of Israel has been at war. Our first objective is to clear out enemy forces that infiltrated and restore the security and quiet to the communities that have been attacked. The second objective, at the same time, is to exact an immense price from the enemy within the Gaza Strip too." Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh said the assault that had begun in Gaza would spread to the West Bank and Jerusalem. "This was the morning of defeat and humiliation upon our enemy, its soldiers, and its settlers," he said, adding, "What happened reveals the greatness of our preparation. What happened today reveals the weakness of the enemy." In southern Israel near Gaza, bullet holes filled the windshield of a car as bodies were found nearby, while rockets lit up the night sky as fighting progressed into the night. Hamas said it fired 150 of them toward Tel Aviv in retaliation for the Israeli strike that took down a building.
And for a more comprehensive understanding on this, our correspondent Jody Cohen sends us this report from a bomb shelter. Take a look.
Shalom, shalom, Yashrala. We'll start off first things first, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakadash, which in the Peter who be tongue, Trinity the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostle, elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to your sister and brothers living this truth, and shalom to brothers and sisters that's listening and studying, show yourselves approved. Shalom. Woo, you did sing. World War III is really kicking up. So what happened is Hamas, which I'm finding out those are Palestinians, basically Ishmael, your Arabic, Middle Easterns, they just bombed on the Ish people. The people that claim they us, that's over there in Israel, the chief tribe of Esau, which is so-called white man, they just bombed on them heavily, to where their president said, you know what, he just initiated, said we at war. So they're about to bang, and this is prophetic, very prophetic, man. As soon as this happened, my Aunt Kadar Shahan called me up like, hey, man, you see it? I'm like, I see it, I see it. Because we know what this means. Like, we've been looking for the Ish people to, have a situation. Because if this continues, this can bring in everybody else. This can bring everybody else in, because the number one ally to Israel, the Israelis, is America, Babylon the Great. And that's why most people don't mess with them. So this could draw Babylon the Great into that battle, and then the Palestinians, they linked up, the Hamas, they're going to link up with Putin. So this could bring that conflict and speed everything up. Everything's been sped up. Process been sped up. If you like me, when I first heard Hamas, I'm like, Hamas, who is that? If you like me, and I got your back, Yashrala. We gonna get it. So if you like me, hey, lay back and get edified. Say no more. I'm gonna get the information, man. It's the Hamas, and it's a Palestinian nationalist movement. It's an acronym. I can't pronounce all that Middle Eastern type of names right there. You can look at it yourself. But basically, it's an Islamic resistance movement, a militant Palestinian nationalist Islamist movement in the West Bank and Gaza Strip that is dedicated to the establishment of an independent Islamic state in the historic Palestine. And really, let's talk about Israel. Those are two heathen nations are fighting over our land, Yasharallah, because we're Israelites. We belong there. But what you got now is you got Edomites fighting Ishmaelites, the Middle Easterns, the Arabs. They're fighting over our land. Two Gentiles. We not there. Because if we was there, wouldn't nobody be going to war, which proves that the Ish people are not the real people. Prophecy is totally against them. If you think not, let's prove it. Let's go to Micah 4:1. I'm going to prove that they are not the people and we are the people. Because the scriptures show you that. That's why all this craziness is happening as well, because, the truth is starting to come out to the light. It's a lot of information. People start to look up. People start realizing, yeah, you can't be the people. Why is too much disorderly, too much war going on? Nah, let me look. I think the people in the corner is right. I think they are the real Israelites. Because check this out. This is Micah 4:1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow into it. Ain't nobody flowing into Israel right now getting you a Tel Aviv is like one of the biggest alphabet agenda countries in the world right now. Go to verse 2, and it says, and many nations shall come and say, come, let us go to the mountain of the Lord and to the house of Yahweh of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. That's not happening right now on this clock. Nobody's keeping the laws and commandments. Only people trying to keep the laws and commandments is us that's coming back to this truth. Those people over there, they got the yarmulke and the Yom Kippur and all that little ish, that Yiddish Hebrew. They not they're not keeping none of the customs, and neither is the world. Esau break every law in the book. So verse 3, here go the point I want to make. And it says, and he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords and the plowshares and their spears and the pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So, woo! And that's why Esau got to make all this movement happen, man. He's been found out. We at war right now, big time war. Everybody talking about going to war. So you can't be the people, because the Lord said in the last days, when he put his people back in the country and the nation of the place of Israel, what did he say? There'll be war no more. Everybody gonna keep the laws and commandments. Like, that's the new covenant. We're not in that yet. That's not happening yet. Right now, you just see they going to big time war. They president said, oh, we about to go to war with them, with the Hamans, and they banging. And this can blow up into something real, real big. So these scriptures right here prove that they are not the people who they say they are. And we are the people. So what just happened right here, me and my aunt, hey, first thing we seen that breaking news, man, we both, thought of this right here, this precept. Jeremiah 49:20, because this is what just happened. So check this out, this Jeremiah 49:20. Therefore heard the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom and his purposes that he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Teman is a grandson of Esau, and he was a great warrior. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So in this precept, you really want to think about it. What I want to highlight is it said the least of the flock should draw them out. So who is the smallest group of Edomites, on the face of the planet? It's your Ish people. They're a very small group, but they run the whole world. So they're the least of the flock of Esau, but they're the ones that's going to kick everything off. They're the ones going to drop, it's going to make everything bang. When all these countries, if any country attack Israel, that's going to set everything in motion. Because that's the people that's running the world right now. That's the chief tribe of Esau. They're the least of the flock. And like the scripture said, they're going to draw them out. They're going to make World War III pop off. Anything happen with Israel, that's why I'm going to watch this like a hawk and see if they're going to sweep it under the rug, but they might not, Joshua. This might be it. This might, because they said it's the worst little missile attack they ever had in decades. And I can just tell everybody else got everything that, like, Putin got everybody feeling themselves like they can bang. You know, scripture say, the weak say I'm strong. You know, they got their backing. So now they're doing things they wouldn't have did 20 and 30 years ago. And so they let you know we're right there in prophecy. Now, when I seen that, I got very happy, but I noticed we ain't at the end yet. Because before World War III really pop off at the climax, what has to take place, Yasharala? The MOTB has to be made mandatory, and they still got to fix the little kinks in that. You know, they still got to get some things going. So we ain't at the end yet, but you can see it coming. You can see World War III is at the peak. All they got to do is make a phone call. Matter of fact, they passed a phone call. Salaki for saying that. We just seen places get hit with missiles. You know, so World War III is on and, you know, basically about on and popping, man. They just got to decide like, hey, man, we going all in. You going all in, and just go ahead and just, hey, tell everybody to fire is where we at. Because this thing can pop off any minute. But the MOTB has to be made mandatory, and we are waiting on that. We are patiently waiting on that, and that'll let us know we right at the end. Plus, I heard banks, you know, the Ogden did a lesson. Banks are throwing out cash left and right. So prophecy is taking a hold, and it's going, you know, according to our book, how it's wrote up. Because, hey, Ott Carmel, we went to the first precept that hit our hearts, man. The least of the flocks are drawn out. It's happening. It is happening. So here we are. You know, that's why we got to get ready. Because all this is happening, what it's going to lead to, they're all going to ultimately go up and fight in that area of Jehoshaphat, like the Bible predict. Let's go to Joel. Let's go to Joel. Where is it at? Joel 3 and 2. And it reads, and I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. So that's another cut to the people over there talking about, oh yeah, we Israel, we're Jews. That's a cut to them right there. The Lord said, hey, he bringing all this wars happening because he's pleading for his people. You know, his heritage Israel. See, don't nobody want to, like, the world on the world stage, don't want to say we're the real people because the other people, you know, stole our identity. It's gonna make them look like liars. So the world doesn't want us, you know, raised up and exalted, Yasharala. But the Lord gonna make them do that. And he's doing it now by what? About to bust their stuff up. Because what the Lord did say, he said, I'm pleading for my nation, Israel, my heritage. You know, that what? Been scattered among the nations. We not in Israel. We all over the place. We in America, Europe, Australia, Africa, you know, Hawaii. We everywhere. You know, you got a little couple jakes that went with their flea doctrine, and they in Israel right now. They shouldn't have did that. That's what I say. Let the Lord do all of this. He'll put us in the land. Let him do it like that. Because right now, Israel might get bombed on some more. And if you're there at the wrong time, you might just get messed up following that flea doctrine. The Lord gonna place us in Israel at the right time. That's what the church is all around. You know, what the world ignorantly referred to as UFOs. The church will pick up the believers and put us back in our land at the proper time. Let the Lord work all this out. Because it's getting worked out. Like, these devils are scrabbling bad. They already lost the narrative. So I'm looking for the internet to go off at any moment. Because they have completely lost the narrative. Because too much scriptures coming out, too much prophecy is coming out to prove that they are not the people. So now you done did all this war. They did a whole war. World War II was about giving them our land. So now, you know, you've been found out to be a liar. You done did so much bloodshed, so many resources to go take some land don't belong to you. Everybody now looking at you like, hey man, you ain't that. And like the people in America, you know, on the corners, those brothers, hey, those are the real people. Those are real Israelites. You think they like that Yashar Hex? Nah, they're like, oh no. So all this destruction, all this chaos is happening because now we're coming back into our heritage. And the Lord is seeing that. He like, the time is ripe, you know, which I'm going to leave off with this. And he going to put us back in our land. So check it out. We're going to leave off with this. This is 2 Chronicles 7 and 14. Because we're doing this now. And it says, if my people, which are called by my name, Yashar Allah, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, Then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. That's happening now. Starting with the apostles and elders, all these beloved brothers doing these video epistles, these lessons, brothers hitting the highway and hedges, doing the work of Yahabashah Shai, all sincerity, on fire. Hey, the Lord is hearing that. Because we're not just, reading the word, we doing the word. So we're fulfilling this prophecy right here. And the Lord, like, okay, well, people getting right. Because you got women flocking into the truth too. Women flocking in, they getting themselves right. And then once the man and the women get themselves right, they're gonna teach their children raised up right, laws, commandments. So I said, we got children know the name of the Lord, Yahweh Why, Yahweh Shai. That's big. So the Lord, like, oh, the time is right. I heard my people. And what did I say? Oh, y'all humbling yourselves. Oh, you calling on my name? Oh, yeah. It's game time. I'm about to set everything in motion, set my people on top. Just like we read right there in Micah. We will be on top. All we gotta do is let the Lord make the Gentiles blow each other up. And they're doing it right before our faces. You just hear breaking news. They hitting each other with missiles, knocking buildings down. And that's why it's happening. So we good, y'all. Just stay in this truth. Stay prayed up. Hey, get your popcorn out because the Lord is doing a mighty works. I mean, marvelous works. I'm in awe right now of everything and the prophecies unfolding out of Yahweh Shah. I'm amazed, man. I got my popcorn out. I'm just screaming, hey, call Halom Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Because he going hard right now, man. It's like the best show, best movie to watch. And I feel like we ain't even got to the good part yet. Wait till we get to the good part. So I just want to do a quick little World War III update, let you know, like, hey, the wheels of war are turning, and we're getting close to the end. We're not quite there yet, but we pretty close. So with that being said, I hope this has been edifying. I want to say Kwam Yashar Allah, Detail Ball, Shalom.